Hello everyone. This is Namernan, and I have a video to share with you guys. So, I was not expecting this to happen today. So, here's the story behind this match that we're about to see. So, a player on my MPL team, the WB War Turtles, was not able to show up for his match, so they were looking for someone to sub him in so he didn't get an activity win against us, which basically means that we would get an automatic loss, and that's not something you really want. You want to at least try for a victory, and they were looking for a substitute. There was no one else that was able to substitute, despite our team being really big, because most of them were offline. And everyone else was the only other person that was able to play had basically just hasn't played a single game of Pokemon in like a really long time, or at least a single game of Monotype in a really long time. So it basically all fell onto me to actually try and like bring this game home. So yeah, there was a lot of pressure put on me in this match, because not only is it the first match of the entire tournament, but it's also the first match for our team, which was ranked lowly on the PR, and it's also just, I don't know, it's just a really, really rough time. It was going to be really rough because I did not play this tier at all. Like, Gen 8 Monotype National Dex is not a tier that I play. It's the only tier in the entire MWP lineup that I don't play. So, basically, I just had to bring out my Gen 7 mode on and just try to not forget any mechanics. That was basically my mentality going into this. And I was ready to lose. And I was really ready. Okay, so I'm not going to say I was ready to lose, but I was definitely not expecting to I was not expecting the outcome of this match to go out the way it did. So, without any more hesitation, I'll just go talk about what happened here and what happened in this matchup. So they gave me a normal team. They told me the gist of it, and after that, I was just subbed in, and I was ready to go. I didn't know what to expect from Floss because he's very unpredictable, but yeah, let's just cover this match. So, without further ado, let's talk about this lead situation. So, oh yeah, also, I'm gonna look at the battle chat for this game because I actually had it off when I was actually playing. So, yeah. Oh my god, they referenced the demons. For those of you who don't know, the demons is copy pasta that I made when I was before the MWP draft. Basically, I made very edgy quotes during the MWP week leading up to MWP because my future manager, Lucky Piper, forced me to change my profile picture to an anime profile picture, and I was not dealing with that, so I just had to edge it up real quickly. And I just posted things about like the demons, and after that people just started copy pasting it, and the rest is history. So yeah, that's why they mentioned it here. But yeah, this lead situation was very interesting for me. So normally on a normal team, especially one with a U-turn Megalomany, I would usually lead with like a U-turn lead, but against flying, you can't really do that. So I knew one thing for sure was that he was not going to go immediately into Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl would be a humongous threat to this team if it wasn't for Ditto, and the fact that he was also a flying team. Because if he gets Aerodactyl set up, that essentially means I can also reverse sweep his team at any time, especially his Celesteela is chipped. So he basically could not send that thing out the entire game. And that was going to be one of my biggest win conditions, was just waiting for him to send this out. So I think my main goal was to basically wear down his Celesteela to the point where Mega Aerodactyl could kill it, and also keep Landorus in check. But basically, my main goal was to try and see if I can force a DD out of his Aerodactyl, and not only force a DD out of his Aerodactyl, but also just to wear down his entire team with a Porygon too. Because Lopunny wasn't really doing much to his entire team. Because even though she has Triple Axle, that only really works against Landorus, and the rest of them just kind of live it from full. So I had to really wear them down in order for Lopunny to become a really big threat. And not only that, but I also had to try and get up rocks to chip down Celesteela and whoever else just didn't have boots. So Landorus and friends, and also Mega Aerodactyl. But yeah. Porygon 2 basically saved this entire matchup for me. So, alright. I'm dancing around the bush. But yeah. The lead situation here was that I wanted to lead something that didn't lose to Landorus, but also didn't like really lose to any of the other Pokemon. I just wanted something that could immediately pose a threat, but also not be like putting myself at a disadvantage immediately at the start of the game. So like no offensive Pokemon could have been sent out during this match because there are too many good leads for Floss to send out. So he went into Celesteela, and then I led it to Porygon 2 because Porygon 2 not only had Download, which could potentially snowball, but I also had Discharge and Ice Beam, which are very good moves to use versus flying. And if one of his Pokemon just happened to not be physically defensive, like Celesteela here, or even Tornadus, even though I want to switch that Tornadus, if he led with one of those, I had a free switch into either Staraptor or Blissey, which would have been incredibly valuable. But fortunately, he sent in his physically defensive Celesteela, and I was really scared during the first turn that he would be Toxic. And Toxic Celesteela was very common in Gen 7, and I was really scared of him having it. But then I realized that this is Flossed Over, and he normally doesn't run Toxic on his Celesteelas. Because I remember a lot from Gen 8 specifically, and also some previous Gen 7 games, like towards the tail end of the generation, that he pretty much never run Toxic. Especially if he built the team himself. He never put Toxic on his Celesteela. And that was just that I knew this was true, but I really didn't want to risk him possibly having it. But I knew that if he didn't have Toxic, it's a weird situation, but basically I didn't want to teleport because I didn't want to catch the Toxic. But if I did teleport, well, first of all, my entire perception was that I was going to get Toxic this turn, right? So I was thinking about going into Blissey, but then I realized, nah, I still think the play I made was definitely very whack, because I think I still could have went into Blissey and everything would have been fine. He would have just had a very healthy Celesteela. I think the main reason why I stayed in with P2 was because I needed that chip. Yeah, I needed the chip versus Celesteela in order for Porygon 2 to do even more work. And I wasn't really fishing for the paralysis chance, but it did happen. So, yeah, spoilers, by the way, that did happen. But yeah, I just decided to use Discharge here to try and catch anything that tried to switch out. And I decided that I was going to try and play around Toxic instead, because I've seen players like Trichotomy play around having their main win condition Toxic, and just play really smart with Recover, Teleport, and like just forcing in switches all the time. And I've seen them be able to do it, and I was going to try and replicate it this game if I did get Toxic. So I decided that I was just going to do that if I did get Toxic, but I was 75% sure that he was not going to have it. And even though I was right that he didn't have it, it still seems really weird that Floss would have led with Celesteela if he knew that Download Porygon 2 was a threat. But that doesn't matter, because what also happened was a bit of hacks. So What happened is that he actually missed his Leech Seed. He missed his Leech Seed, which basically robbed him of very, very crucial 12% HP. And if he got the HP, that would have been very, very good for him. But unfortunately, he did not get it. And that would actually make this matchup a little bit harder for him. Because basically, if he got chipped, he could get chipped really, really easily if I got Rockstand and then put him Blissey. And then he'd have to make some really hard guessing games with his Celesteal in order to actually either stay healthy or even keep the thing in the first place. And the reason why he wants Celesteal is so that Mega Lopunny doesn't go absolutely crazy on the entire team. So he definitely wants to keep this thing healthy so that he can keep Lopunny in check. Because not only does Lopunny have triple Axle, but also has really powerful frustrations, which hit everything really hard neutrally. But yeah, this thing, Celesteal needed to be healthy for this game to actually work. So once it got paired and it got discharged, he definitely, and the Leech Seed missed, he really did not want to keep this thing in, especially against a +1 P2. So he would switch out later, but I did not think he was going to do that. Instead, I thought that he would have stayed in for whatever reason. I don't know why I thought he would stay in, but I also thought that even if he did switch out, I wanted to use Ice Beam just to make sure I caught Lando on the switch, because if I got rid of Landorus, that made this game infinitely easier, because now I no longer have like a giant threat to P2. And I could just kind of like switch in whenever I wanted against another opponent and just like spam discharge essentially for the rest of the game, because he had no other electric immunity afterwards. So, and being able to spam discharge on P2, especially in front of stuff like Aerodactyl and Celesteela, is just very, very valuable. Also, the paralysis on Celesteela helped me a lot because Porygon 2 now outspeeds it, which basically means I can force him to do plays that he otherwise wouldn't normally make because he's faster. So yeah, Paralysis definitely was a very good get on this game, but the Leech Seed, I feel like I could have won even if I didn't get the Leech Seed on him, because of the +1 discharge. And even if he did get the Leech Seed, he likely would have either would have protected, or he would have well, at this point I still think he has Toxic, right? So I didn't want to stay in if he did get the Leech Seed percentage back, so I would have definitely went into Blissey or something like that and tried to get Rocks up and then immediately teleport out, but that did not happen. Instead, he missed the Leech Seed, and that forced him out instead. So yeah, I still think I could have won without the Leech Seed miss, but there's going to be more hacks where that comes from. So yeah, I Ice Beam here, like I mentioned before, and it hits Tornadus instead of Landorus, which is still fine. It does a nice chunky 70%. But this turn, I also knew that Tornadus could click Knockoff here, and I did not want anything to do with that, so I had a choice. I could either send in my Diggersby, or I could send in Lopunny. And I decided that Lopunny would be the better choice, because once I because first of all, I wanted this thing Mega Evolved immediately, and second of all, I wanted to make sure that I could immediately well, yeah, that kind of falls under the same umbrella as Mega Evolving immediately, but also it just would have threatened the Tornadus out instantly, and I wasn't sure if Quick Attack would have killed Tornadus at that percent on Diggersby. I'm pretty sure it may have, but I didn't calc it at the time, which is a pretty bad thing to do on my part, but I was very confident that he was just going to click Knockoff, because why would he click any other move in front of Porygon 2? Because if he lost Tornadus, that would have been really bad for him. So yeah, I definitely do think that it didn't matter which Pokemon I went into. It just had to be a Pokemon that basically didn't get crippled by Knockoff. So it was either Diggersby or Lopunny. And I guess I didn't want to reveal that I was the Diggersby yet, so I think what I did was fair. So yeah, I went into Lopunny. He did knockoff as expected. I'm pretty sure I would have lived Hurricane as well. But yeah, I Mega Evolved that turn and I clicked Frustration. So I was thinking about clicking Close Combat to see if he would switch in Celestial, but then I realized he would not do that because that would be incredibly, like, hard for him to do, especially in a position like that where I could literally click Frustration or Close Combat, and Frustration probably would have like put him in a percent. That would have been really bad. Also, Triple Axle would have been really bad for him to take as well. So regardless, I think he didn't want to put in Celesteela in this game, but I still thought he was going to put him in. So I was ready for him to come in with Celesteela and just click Frustration. And I had a game plan prepared for that, but he did not do that. He went to Mantine instead. And I, of course, being the balls to the wall player I am, decided to stay in versus Mantine and just click Frustration again once I did. So did a nice 48%. I'm pretty sure it was a roll to 2-hit KO, so I just Frustrationed again. Alright, and then at this point of the game, I decided that I probably wanted to switch out of Lopunny. I don't remember who I switched into though, so let me see who I did switch into, and then I'll see what the justification was. Alright, sorry, I'm looking at the battle chat and that's funny, but let me see what I did here. So I went into P2 because obviously I think I realized at turn 5 that he may not be toxic. I was still kind of weary on it, but I had a feeling like he might not have been toxic because I was realizing like toxic was kind of free against my entire team, and he like super pressured me regardless. So I think that by turn 6 I was a little bit more confident that he wasn't toxic, so I decided to hard switch into P2 because obviously Celesteela, if he used Heavy Slam, obviously it would have done like 0 to P2, and if he used Leech Seed, it wouldn't do that much to P2, and I could just teleport out next turn if he decided to protect, and then I could go into Diggersby. Well, actually, not go into Diggersby, but I could go into Blissey and get rocks up. So yeah. But yeah, I could have definitely made a better play here, but the play I made was fine. So yeah, Heavy Slam happened, and I took very little damage. He went into Landorus, which is definitely a weird play to make, because considering the last turn I literally clicked Ice Beam, I thought he would be more weary about clicking Ice Beam, about me clicking Ice Beam again on his Celesteela. But to his credit, he did know that he lived another Discharge on his Celesteela. So I think that he was gaming on that to make sure that I would use Discharge again, because otherwise it was just like kind of a weird play, and that would be a super hard read on my part, which I'm definitely capable of doing that, but that was a pretty good justification on his part to putting in Landorus, and it paid off. So yeah, I didn't get to do any damage to Landorus, which sucked, but I went straight into Blissey because obviously I don't want to catch a Focus Blast otherwise, because I don't want Porygon 2 to die, and I made sure to keep my Blissey and my Porygon 2 extremely healthy throughout the course of the match, because I knew that once he got rocks down, and it was going to happen eventually, because there's nothing I could do to stop rocks from going up, besides like obviously offensively pressuring his Lando at every single opportunity, which is not really realistic, and it requires some super high level play, and I'm not going to try and lie to you and say like I'm a super high level player. Like, maybe if it was Trichotomy or Phyton or maybe Chaitanya, maybe they could do something like that, but I was definitely not capable of doing something like that, at least at this point in the match, because I'm still terrified that I'm going against Flossed Over in a metagame that he knows very well, so I'm trying to play as safe as possible and not really take a lot of huge risks. So I go into Blissey and I click Stealth Rocks here, obviously, because I want that pressure on all of his Pokemon, which is going to be very good for dealing with Celesteela. Also, he puts in Tornadus again. I don't want him to knock off my Heavy Duty Boots on Blissey yet. I could have let him. To be fair, I think I could have let him because it would have been an alright play. I would have taken like 12% chip, and to be absolutely honest with you, I think the only time that would have been really bad would be for taking a Focus Blast from Landorus, and I think that's the main reason why I decided to keep it, because I did not want Landorus to just be able to get rid of Blissey for free. So I decided to go into Staraptor instead and just sack him, because Staraptor isn't really doing that much this match. The one physical attacker he could try to check is Mega Aerodactyl, and he's going to kill you anyway. So I really didn't need this thing to be alive. So he was just a sack. So yeah, he knocked off my Staraptor, as I expected, and then he Hurricaned me, and I went straight into U-turn, and then I got Lopunny back in, because obviously Lopunny threatens him out. Oh, I lied. He does take damage, but it's from rocks. I used Triple Axle because obviously I want to hit Lando. It hit Mantine pretty well, as you can see. It also caught Aerodactyl. It killed Tornadus, and it did decent damage against Celesteela and Thundurus. So I think Triple Axle was a pretty fair play here. And yeah, I basically got a Frustration for free, and Mantine was now dead. His special defense wall is now gone. Who this enabled, I don't really think it enabled anyone. I mean, it was nice for Blissey to finally have someone else to get rid of, and it's nice that its Defogger is gone. But I'm pretty sure Tornadus was still a potential Defogger. I actually don't know if he was a Defogger or not. I'm pretty sure he was. I think he was. But yeah, if it turned out that he wasn't actually a Defog on his Tornadus, then so be it. Sorry, that's my grandmother's phone. But anyway, let me talk more about the next turn that happens here. So Lopunny is obviously in against Celesteela, and so obviously he sends in Celesteela afterwards, and I think I click Close Combat here, which actually may not have been a good play. So the reason why that's not a good play is because I'm pretty sure if he clicked Heavy Slam, which I didn't think he was going to click, I think he was going to click Leech Seed instead. That's what I thought he was going to click. But if he clicked Heavy Slam when I clicked CC here, he probably could have gotten a kill. But at the same time, even if he did get the kill, Porygon 2 came in and killed him back. And like I said, this is one of the examples of me forcing him into plays because of the paralysis, which is why it was extremely important that I got it. So, because P2 being fast in Celesteela in this situation would have made this Lopunny CC either a really good play or a really bad play. But yeah, I CC'd here. He protects anyway. And yeah, the rocks helped a lot. And I think CC actually would have been a roll at that percent. So I decided to switch out. U-turn, obviously, to see if I could catch any of his other Pokemon, and I go straight into Porygon 2, get that boost, and he unfortunately gets paralyzed again. I feel like he should have gotten the Leech Seed there. That Leech Seed probably would have changed the game drastically, which is very unfortunate. That was a really big hacks on his part, and I'm very sorry to Floss for that happening to him. But yeah, if he didn't get parried there, I think what happened was that I'd probably just recover again, because I'd lose a lot of HP, obviously, and I want to keep P2 healthy. And then afterwards, I would just spam Discharge over and over again, and then probably end up fishing for a paralysis anyway. So yeah, I still had the advantage for the most part in this part of the match, but yeah, I still had the advantage regardless of if he got a Leech Seed or not. He had to basically hard switch into Landorus during that part of the game. So yeah. Also at this percent, I'm pretty sure he's in kill range of Discharge. So I thought he was going to protect this turn, so I decided to click Ice Beam, just to not waste Discharge PP. I actually don't know why that was the reason why I clicked it. I know that's the reason why I clicked it, but I don't know why I clicked it because of that reason. I do not know why. The play would have been fine, even if he didn't click protect. But yeah. Anyway, he goes into Landorus and gets absolutely destroyed by that Ice Beam. But yeah. He sends in his Tornadoes once again. I don't want him to. I don't want to, especially now that rocks are down and Staraptor is basically not going to defog ever. I decided that I'm going to sack Staraptor this turn to the Tornadoes because I definitely do not want him to get rid of my Eviolite on Porygon 2 yet. So I decided to switch out and go into Staraptor. Oh, yeah, I don't know why they pogged off for that. That was honestly just a fair 50-50 read, honestly, because I don't know. I think what I said when he initially did that was like, why did he do that? Because I was genuinely confused as to why he decided to just go into Landorus for no reason there. Because he was in kill percentage of discharge, so I thought like, okay, yeah, he's going to either click protect or go into Landorus. So that's why I Ice Beam there. So I don't know. The play just made sense to me at the moment. So I don't know why they popped it off. It seemed pretty simple. So yeah. Yeah, but Staraptor dies here, and I go into Diggersby. Diggersby just gets a free kill because obviously Tornadoes is -1 and Hurricane is never OHKOing, so yeah. Even if he went into Cell Steal, that thing basically just got destroyed by the Z move I used. So yeah. So he gets rid of his Thundurus because obviously Thunder isn't going to do much. Well, actually, Thundy probably could have done something here, but yeah, now it can't. He sends in Aerodactyl, and remember what I said about me wanting Aerodactyl in before? Yeah. Okay, so basically I got rid of Diggersby here, because obviously I don't want to really sack anything else in this matchup right now. I probably could have gotten rid of Blissey, but I didn't want to. But yeah. Wait, I hate... What the hell? What happening at the speed of... Oh my god. Well, yeah, I was thinking fast because I was super afraid of the timer getting low. And I was still like in my mental capacity, like in my mental state, I was thinking that okay, if I ever get a low timer, I cannot afford to get a low timer because I need that room to think through my plays. So I had to play fast, but I also had to play really effectively. That's why some of the plays I made weren't like super developed. Because obviously there's a lot of turns in this game where there weren't super developed plays that were made on my part. It was just really hasty, it was really fast, hasty thinking. And I really didn't want to like get the timer to run down, because if I got the timer to run down, then I actually would probably have started making bad plays. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, as you just saw, I got Aerodactyl in and then Stone Edged. I actually did calc it to see if Ice Fang would have killed. It would have been a roll, and I did not want to deal with a roll. I'd rather risk the Stone Edge than risk the roll. So I decided to just go use Stone Edge instead, because it was a 20% chance to not hit the Stone Edge, and it was like a 40 or something % chance to not get the roll. So I decided the Stone Edge is better as a choice, in my opinion. And I went for Stone Edge. Thank God it hit, because I'm pretty sure I would have lost at that point if I didn't, because Porygon was at 50% thanks to rocks, and I'm pretty sure it would have just eliminated him. So yeah. Actually, I think he would have lived. It's very possible I would have lived, but yeah, I wouldn't have gotten the +1, or would I have? I didn't think about that, obviously. I was too busy just thinking, go, 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 go. I did not have time to think about that at all, so, yeah. Yeah, I decided to Stone Edge here again, and just stay in with Ditto, because I realized, like, okay, if he does kill me, he just gets a defense boost, and I could just send in Porygon too. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I Stone Edge here. He lives on 1%. I'm not even gonna call hacks on that. I don't think I'm gonna call hacks on that. It definitely did suck a lot, but yeah. He finally gets a leech seed, and I decided to go hard into Porygon too because I expected him to protect there. I really expected him to protect there, and he did not. Very good play on Floss's part. I'll give him credit for that. That play probably would have saved him the game too. I think I yeah, I should have recovered there. I don't know why I didn't. I think I recovered on this turn, right? Yeah, I recovered on this turn. That was just me being super hasty for no reason. So the plays weren't super bad, but I definitely feel like I could have made a better play there. But yeah, I decided to go into Ditto. Oh no, I went into Blissey instead. Because Blissey now didn't have anything threatening it now that Landorus was gone, so I just went into it. But yeah. Oh, so that was the context for this is a Taunt game. I actually did not know that. Yeah, I teleported in front of his Celesteela on the Protect because I knew if he used Leech Seed, it wouldn't have mattered. Teleport was super free there. Teleport was super, super, super free, in my opinion. And it just so happened that I got a large opportunity cost off of that, and I could just send him Porygon 2 for free. So yeah, also the Blissey, hang on a second. Let me go back a turn. I'm still trying to figure out how this happened. My game crashed. Okay, it did not crash. But yeah. Why did you turn out of Tornadus? Oh no, it's because, yeah, so his last must have been, Defog. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why he, U-turned out, because I would have just beaten his Tornadus one-on-one with Blissey. Because, unlike with Chansey, it does not lower my special defense if he knocks off my item, so I basically still infinitely wall him. So yeah, I basically just beat him one-on-one. So I think Seismic Tossing there was definitely fine, especially against Celesteela, so yeah, and I decided to teleport because if you got the 6%, it wouldn't have mattered, and yeah. I teleported out into P2 and got the boost and basically won the game from there. Well, the game was pretty much won from there, but also I got the crit. He got the confusion, which honestly, considering how much I've hacked in this game, that was totally fair. I honestly was fine with that. I was fine with getting confused there. That was honestly fair hacks. And the reason why I sent in Ditto... Okay, so the game definitely won. Was definitely won if I just tripled Axles with Lopunny, but I was so scared at this point of the game that I might be beating Floss, and I did not want to choke or have any form of hacks mess me up. So I just took the win path that guaranteed me the victory. So I decided to go into Ditto because I knew Tornadus didn't have recovery, and I decided to spam knockoffs until it was in range for Frustration, where I knew it would kill 100%. So I just spam knockoff with Ditto, and it just won me the rest of the game after that. He missed a Hurricane, but the Hurricane miss didn't matter because he's at 22%. He's now in range of Lopunny killing him. And yeah, that's the game. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. So yeah, I definitely did not play at my best level this game. I definitely still made a lot of questionable decisions. And I think Floss played pretty well. He just got hacked a lot, but then he almost won the game back from hacking me. I don't want to say the hacks were even though. I definitely feel like him getting parried, his Celesteela getting parried that one turn definitely changed the tide of the game drastically. I think the first leech seed miss didn't matter that much, but the second one, I think he definitely clicked leech seed there. I'm pretty sure, but I have a very high confidence that that second one mattered a lot more than the first one. But yeah, I won versus Flossed Over, and honestly, I didn't know what to think at first. I was so confused that I won, not because I didn't feel like I actually just beat him. It just didn't feel real. So yeah, it just happened, and I was very happy, obviously, because I brought home a victory for my team, and I was elated to say the least. But I also kind of felt really bad for Floss because he got hexed really bad, and I didn't want him to be like upset. So I talked to him after the game. I'm not going to show you the PMs, but yeah, I talked to him after the game, and I basically like made sure he was all right, and made sure he didn't feel bad or anything, because I just wanted to I knew I won, and I knew that it could have possibly affected him, so I just made sure he was okay afterwards. And I told him it was a fun game, because it was a fun game for me. It was very stressful, but it was a fun game regardless. And normal has always been a type that I've always been super comfortable with, because as you can see by this team, I was very comfortable with everything. I knew exactly how to use everything. Everything just flowed really well together. So yeah, normal's just one of those types where you can just always drop in to a tournament with it and just always get results, as you can see here. But yeah, I think it's very unfortunate for Floss dude, because I think he was expecting Marrow to work, but Ditto was just basically denying him that chance the entire time, and Download Porygon 2 saved the hell out of this game. That was actually really surprising, because I remember in a discussion for this team that they were going to think about putting Trace over it. Imagine how disastrous that would have been for me if we didn't have Download, because if without Download, I didn't do like almost 50% to Celesteela every single time I clicked Discharge. And that would have drastically changed the format of this game. That would have made every single bit of hex I got mattered a whole lot more. So yeah, I'm definitely very happy that whoever decided to suggest Download over Trace, godsend of a person. Also, it's surprising because this game happened during when I normally have classes for college, and it just so happened that this week, today, it just so happened that both of my classes got called off. So talk about lucky. But yeah, I'm very happy about how this game turned out to be. I still feel like I could have played a lot better, but I'm definitely a little happy that I won my first tournament game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, please. I need at least 100 subs so I can actually do a lot more content. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe out there.